Yo, what's going on, buddy? This is Dylan Talk Sports. My name is Dylan. In this video, what we'll be discussing is we're going to be talking about the Cleveland Browns firing not only their offensive coordinator, their tight end coach, and their running back coach all in the same day. This happened a couple of days ago. I'm kind of getting my reaction now at a later date, just because I wanted to kind of wait and see what could happen with this news. The news broke on the 17th, and I'll put the tweet up on screen from Ian Rappaport. It says here the Browns are going through the offensive staff role evaluation process. Sources said running back coach Stump Mitchell has been fired, as Josino Anderson reported. Plus, tight end coach T.C. McCarthy will not be retained. Also, offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt remains under contract with no other final decisions made. But then not even a few hours later, we were told that offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt was actually fired from the team because they were trying to switch roles with him, kind of taking him from offensive coordinator, moving him down to probably like a position coach or a coordinator, like a pass game coordinator, something like that. And he basically told Kevin Stefanski, no, I'm not doing it. So they had to go forward and just say, I'm sorry, but we're letting you go. Now, there's been some speculation of, is Alex Van Pelt the right offensive coordinator in Cleveland? We thought maybe he was whenever he did well with Baker Mayfield, and then they did okay with Jacoby Brissett. And then the 2 years we've kind of had Deshaun Watson when he's been there at the end of the last season, and then the whole entire first half of this season. Deshaun Watson had some struggles, and now I'm starting to wonder, is Kevin Stefanski in this front office saying, we need Deshaun Watson to work? Let's go get an offense that works for him, an offense that he likes. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to kind of go through and we're going to review why each coach was fired. Do I think it was the right thing to fire him or bad thing to fire him? And then I'm kind of going to go through, not really give who I think they should hire, but more or less what they need to do to kind of replace these positions, and then also talk about the offensive coordinator position. And there are already a few candidates that Browns fans have been kind of talking about, and we're going to kind of review them. So without further ado, if you're going to enjoy, as always, make sure you go and drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciated if you do so. And without further ado, let's get into it. Now, first up, let's start off with the tight end coach, T.C. McCartney. I don't really understand this one, more or less of he's had time with the tight ends to try to get some best out of them. He's had Austin Hooper, he's had Harrison Bryant, he's had now George Akins, he's had David Njoku. Those have kind of been like the main big piece tight ends that he's had over the years, kind of has been coaching. So far from what we've seen, Harrison Bryant has been a very, I wouldn't say underrated, but just underappreciated tight end. He's just one of those left alone guys that nobody really respects. He's really blossomed here this season with Joe Flacco throwing the ball. But in the past, he's not really been that much of a utilized piece. He's been just kind of like a one-catch-a-game type guy. Akins has been, once again, kind of like another guy like Harrison Bryant. He's just been maybe one catch, two catch a game. When the score gets kind of blown out, he's left alone for those little 5-yard hitch routes and kind of just does the dirty work. But then when it comes to David Njoku has been a very, I would say, underrated piece of this offense for many years. And we always thought, David Njoku, please, can you blow up into the next George Kittle, Travis Kelce, etc. In this day and age of where wide receivers are almost being just like forgotten and the tight ends are coming back, we were hoping David Njoku, can you be the guy? We see, like I said, Kelce, Kittle, we see Laporta in Detroit, we see Hockenson up in Minnesota. There's a lot of big time tight ends around the league. Could this be our guy in Njoku to be the next big thing in the NFL? And this year he had, I wouldn't say all pro level, but certainly he made the Pro Bowl level caliber play from David Njoku. Now when it comes to David Njoku, he's been playing good-ish the past couple seasons. The thing is, people need to realize you have to be coached by somebody, and TC did the job to help coach him up, and for some reason he's being fired for it. I don't know about you, but I just don't understand that one. Moving on to the running back coach, Stump Mitchell. This one I don't get, because Stump Mitchell was there in 2019 under Freddie Kitchens' staff. Don't get me started on Freddie Kitchens, but he was there under his staff. When Kevin Stefanski became the head coach, Kevin Stefanski retained Stump Mitchell. I'm guessing maybe Nick Chubb said, I love Stump, I want to keep him as my running back coach. So Kevin just kind of obliged, kept him along. He's been a good running back coach in my opinion, but you have to kind of look at it as Nick Chubb is a generational talent. He's somebody that doesn't even need a coach. When you look at the other running backs that he's coached in the past, Kareem Hunt, again, he was already an all-pro running back whenever he was in Kansas City, so he doesn't really need coached. When you look at some of these other guys, like the rookies, look at the guys he's been coaching. Pierre Strong, Jerome Ford. Jerome Ford looked good-ish for a good part of the season, but the last 5 games, he didn't do anything. It almost seems like once Joe Flacco went into the offense, this run game just disappeared. And people can say some bullshit about like, well, when the quarterback's not mobile, what are you supposed to do with the running back whenever you hand the ball off? The linebacker's just going to cut down. Have you ever heard of a thing called play action? Have you ever heard of a thing called that Joe Flacco's not the only immobile quarterback in the NFL in history? Tom Brady did a lot of running the ball for a long time with his running backs. He wasn't immobile. He wasn't mobile at all. I just think with Stump Mitchell, he was a good back. The problem is they looked at the other running backs in the room and they said, besides Chubb and Hunt, the rest of these guys are pretty much average. They would all be probably number 2 backs on any other team in the NFL probably. And when it comes to the offensive coordinator, Alex Van Pelt, that one is the big one that's kind of changing the whole perspective of the offense going forward. When Alex Van Pelt came into the team with Kevin Stefanski, we were told this is going to be a play action team with Baker Mayfield, play action, bootleg, screen passes, dunks, all that type of stuff. Alex Van Pelt was big back when he was with Arizona. They had a little bit of a spread offense, but they could also kind of come in, do the play action. Like I said, they had all these different things they could do. Alex Van Pelt, at a few times in his career, he was the play caller. I'm wondering if Alex Van Pelt was hoping he could be the play caller here a little bit. Kevin Stefanski, he's in this mindset now where he's possibly listening to the fans. He realizes I need to have more of a focal point on the rest of the team rather than just calling plays during the game. That way he can then go and address other things. Maybe if Jalen Schwartz needs help on the defense, he can go there. If special teams, Bubba needs help on special teams, he can help there. And Alex Van Pelt was probably given the opportunity a few times in the preseason last year or this past season to try and call plays. Maybe Kevin didn't like what he saw and he didn't give him the opportunity the rest of the season. And then going forward, now he's kind of realized, okay, I can't let you call plays. I need to get a different kind of coordinator here. Maybe he wants to run a different type of offense. Try to move him down, like I said in the intro. And now Alex Van Pelt is gone. Now to kind of discuss some offensive coordinator possibilities, I'm going to put the tweet up on screen so you guys can see it. It says here 2 names Browns might be interested in that are tied to Deshaun Watson's name. Tim Kelly, who is currently the offensive coordinator of the Titans, and Carl Smith, the Seahawks associate head coach. Kelly was actually the Titans offensive coordinator from 2019 to 2021. Kind of in that little part of 2019 when Deshaun Watson had his great all-pro season, Pro Bowl season. 2020 where he had probably his best career season ever. I think they went like 4-12 that year, so they didn't do that well. But it kind of makes sense in a way of if Deshaun Watson likes that guy and he liked the offense he ran back then, and Kevin Stefanski can go to Tim Kelly and say, hey, do you want to come be my offensive coordinator and help Deshaun Watson just be like the man with him, help Deshaun play at his highest level? You do that. And the reason why that won't be a struggle is for some of these teams that like the coordinators that you might be looking around the league, like, why can't we go get this coordinator or this coordinator or this coordinator? Some people are talking about like coordinators that are with teams that are currently in the playoffs right now or teams that still have their head coach. I don't really see a team that's in the playoffs leaving to go be a offensive coordinator somewhere else. They're going to want to go be a head coach. And then teams that are maybe already eliminated, but their head coach wasn't fired or anything, they're going to probably stay there. They won't leave one team to go to another team to be just another offensive coordinator somewhere else. With the Browns, they're going to be looking at teams like as we can see with the Titans, Tim Kelly. Mike Vrabel was fired. All those coaches are free game. Do we want to go grab their coordinator? And then the same thing with the Seahawks with their Carl Smith. Do we want to go to them since Pete Carroll was relieved of duties as head coach and say, hey, Carl Smith, do you want to come be our offensive coordinator? There were some other candidates that were kind of talked about as could possibly come in and be the Browns offensive coordinator, but these were the 2 main ones that does make the most sense to me because, like I said, Kelly was the offensive coordinator for Deshaun 2019, 2020, and then Smith was Watson's quarterback coach in 2019. 2019 was the year when they went to the playoffs, had that great game against the Bills in the wildcard round, had the little spin around move, played the Chiefs in our division round. They did have an epic collapse, 24-0, lost the game 31-52, 55, something like that. But we keep on saying if we can get 2019, 2020 Deshaun Watson back, this team would be great. We saw a piece of that in that game against the Ravens this year. When we were down 17-31 or 10-24, when we were down and Deshaun Watson came out there in that second half, we saw the glimpse of what Deshaun Watson can be. The problem now is, can we get that almost every single game? I think if we can get that Deshaun Watson back, this team would be a juggernaut. We've said it many times. If we can get that Deshaun Watson back, this team's a juggernaut. Because with Nick Chubb, the way Njoku's playing at tight end, the offensive line stays healthy, and if the defense plays as good as it did last year, this team is a juggernaut. But to kind of wrap it up, I'm going to say this. Like I said, the tight end coach, he can kind of go. I think that's more or less of just like kind of sweeping house, trying to clean up the whole offense. I guess Stump Mitchell can go. I'm wondering how Nick Chubb's going to take that, if he's going to miss his boy. Maybe because I've heard some rumors saying that Stump Mitchell was like a father figure to Nick Chubb, kind of in that in the locker room as a coaching room, as just like being like a mentor, and they're teaching Chubb the ways of how to run the ball in the NFL. And then with the offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt being gone, this just shows the whole offense is just being revamped. The defense looks good with Jim Schwartz being the coordinator and their coaches, I guess, but now they're saying this offense is going to be reset. I've heard people say also wide receiver coach Chad O'Shea was also fired or let go. Somebody correct me in the comments. I've tried to look everywhere. I can't find anything. I've tried going to different Browns reporters, Schefter, Rappaport, nothing. But it seems like every single year with the Browns, there's always something going on. We had offensive line troubles one year. We fixed it in the draft. We had quarterback problems. We get Deshaun Watson. We had wide receiver problems. We got Jarvis Landry that one year, and then we kind of have now had receiver problems now going on forward. Free agency in the draft, maybe we can fix that. And then it seems like this last season, the problem maybe from according to Stefanski is the coaching. He's going to try and adjust that now. Now, I'm not saying going forward now, just to kind of wrap it up, I'm not saying it's either Super Bowl or bust next season, but they need to damn for sure get back in the playoffs and win a playoff game next year. If they do not make the playoffs next year, I don't know what to say other than Stefanski. I pray to God they don't sign him to extension before the season starts next season, because if he don't make the playoffs next season, it'll be the worst extension ever. Like, that's basically like your floor of where you need to be. Playoffs is the floor for the Browns. Ceiling, I think, is Super Bowl. Floor is playoffs. Get to the playoffs and win a playoff game. I'm not saying go to the Super Bowl and win it. If you do that, I'd be ecstatic, but at least get to the playoffs and win a playoff game. But other than that, that's going to do it for today's video. Hopefully you guys did go to enjoy today's video. If you did enjoy, as always, make sure you go drop a like on today's video. Be very much appreciative if you do so. If you wanted to watch the entirety of today's video, thank you very much, and you want to leave your opinion on the whole thing. If you think the coaches, the tight end coach, running back coach, offensive coordinator should not have been fired, who you think should have been, maybe if you think anybody should have stayed, who you think should have stayed, leave your complete opinion down in the comment section down below. Be more than welcome to talk about with you guys. If you're enjoying the content that I do post here and you want to go and hit that big red subscribe button, feel free to do so, and do not forget to hit that little notification bell to be notified the second I post. But without further ado, this has been Dylan Talk Sports. Have a great day. Peace.